were at Life Group Friday night, and we were talking about healing, and we were praying for some people, and it reminded me of a testimony of a lady I met while I was in Atlanta at the House of Prayer down there. And every Saturday afternoon and evening, we had healing services in healing rooms, and I did that for about 3 months, and it really stretched me and grew me, and it was incredible. But this lady, her name was Jerry, and before I came there, she was perfectly normal. She was between her late 60s, early 70s, and she was just a normal woman. And then at some point she had a complete breakdown, like a mental or psychotic breakdown, and she was in the hospital in the psych wards. It was just really bad, and no one knew what it was. So her husband would come before I got there, and he would stand in her place, and they would pray for her at her healing services. And then by the time I got there, it was her first time there, and she was in a wheelchair. She had no motor skills. She couldn't speak, she couldn't talk, she couldn't do anything with her arms or her legs. She just kind of sat there, and you could tell it was a really serious demonic oppression. Like, you could see it, you could feel it. It was bad. So it's my first healing room, and we get to pray for this woman who's very oppressed. And it was incredible for me, because I'd never seen it before, something that's strong that just completely impaired someone. So we're watching her, and we started praying for her, and it wasn't like the instant healings that you see that everyone wants to see. That you want to see the instant healing that happens 5 seconds into the prayer. But we kept praying for this woman every week, every Saturday evening for 3 months straight. And every week there was improvement. Like, the next week she came, she was still in her wheelchair, but she can move her feet. So she could get her feet back onto the little, like, footrest or something. And then at weeks after that, she just kept changing. Then one day she came in, and she wasn't in her wheelchair anymore. She was walking again. She was still really unstable, and her husband would hold her, but she could come in, and she was walking, and she could maybe say a word or two. And by the time we left, she was completely normal again. She wasn't oppressed. She had all of her motor skills back. She could put her makeup on. She was dancing. She was singing. She was completely normal. And she could never see well before, even when before this happened, she just couldn't see well, even with glasses. So we prayed over her eyes, and she could see us. She was describing things to us, like our eye color, our hair color, our complexions, what colors we had on, like, jewelry-wise. It was incredible, because you just got to see this major healing in this woman that from when time I met her, she couldn't do any of that. So it was just, it's really changing when you get to see those healings.